our start to saying yes to God and whatever He has for us was we were working in a group home here in Pennsylvania, and we saw an ad for a group home in Ohio. And so we interviewed, and they wanted us to come, and so we said, well, we're happy here, but this seems to be where God is leading. So we said yes, we'll come and work there, and that through a series of events there is how we ended up adopting our first daughter, our oldest.
We moved to Pennsylvania, and we started raising our daughter, and we knew we wanted our family to get bigger. And what we thought was the easiest way to do that was to become foster parents. And so we went ahead and started becoming foster parents and going through all of the trainings. They called us and right away asked us to take on a set of twins, and we weren't even foster parents at that point, but we said yes. And 2 children came into our home. They called us on a Wednesday night, and Friday morning we picked them up. Probably not even 6 months had gone by, and we got another phone call from Children and Youth asking us if we would bring a baby into our home. And so I had just told them, well, let me call my husband at work, and he of course said yes, that we should do that. So but before we hung up, I remember exactly where I was standing in our home and exactly what my husband said. But he had told me, he goes, by the way, don't ever call me again at work and ask me for a child. If they call and ask if a child should come into our home, the answer is yes. And when I get home, I'll meet them. And so I kind of laughed and was like, okay.
That's kind of been our philosophy from then on out. Just if there's a need and there's a child that needs a family, then our answer is yes.
We have a foster child that's been with us for almost 4.5 years, and she came to us when she was a baby, and so now she's 4.5, and we've loved on her every day of most of her life, and right now we're going through a period that she may very well be leaving us, and it's probably one of the hardest times in our life that we've been in. If we would have known 4.5 years ago how brutal this is and what we're going through right now, I don't know if I would have said yes to her coming into our home.
The blessing that she's been.
Yeah, the blessing that she's been, and how much our family has blossomed and grown with her, things that she has taught us. And then, because we said yes to her, her sister was born, and she joined our family almost 3 years ago. And next month, we're adopting her, and she'll be ours forever. And had we said no to our 4.5-year-old, Asha would never be in our family, and we would never be able to next month call her ours. So that's very much the real side of things. And even though it's hard, you can still see the beauty in it.
I think the more that you follow God's will, the easier it becomes to follow God's will. I think because you continually start to see the reasons why God did these things and why He put me in this situation or He put me in that situation, the more you follow what He has for you, I feel like the easier it is to follow. I think sometimes it's hard to, because you want some kind of tangible, like this is what I got, and in some cases, following God's will is that way. There's a tangible. There's obviously we followed His will to Ohio, and we ended up adopting our daughter. That's a tangible thing, and I think sometimes the challenge to following God's will is because sometimes those rewards are not as in your face as adopting a child, but those rewards are there. I think sometimes you just have to look for them and have your eyes open to what He's giving you and what blessings you do have for following.
Right. Well, and when I really look back and think of where we were when we first got married, and what I always thought our family would look like, and how it would be, this is so much better than what I ever could have thought of. And it's just how God orchestrated everything is just so unbelievable, that when you're in it and you're seeing it, even though it's hard, you're like, whoa, God, like, you got this, because your plan is so much better than anything I could have ever dreamed up. And that in itself makes it easier.
And builds faith.
It does. Well. It builds faith in it. You can just see the beauty in it. And so you're like, okay, like, what's next?
Yeah.
So
sometimes it's not until you're looking back that you see what He had for you, which is hard in the moment. But it's worth it.